Hello folks and welcome to Paris, Charles de Gaulle Airport. This is TT Car. This is the area where you pick up all your lease cars, like your temporary title cars like Peugeot, Renault, Citroën, and this is my car. It's a Citroën C4 Cactus. This car has the 1.2 litre petrol engine with 3 cylinders and it's turbocharged. It has a power output of 81 kilowatts. It also has a torque figure of 200 newton meters. This one has a 6-speed manual gearbox. This one is a long-term lease, as you can tell by the red French number plates. So it's a temporary title vehicle. Let's take a look around the car. As we can see, it has a moonroof in this particular example. Resplendent in white Duco with black out around the A pillar and the B pillar, around the driver's door sashes. The tyres are, let's have a look. We have Goodyear efficient grip tyres, so I think that they look like a low rolling resistance tyre. So what are the sizes? Okay, we have 205/50 R17. 1989V, so this is V rated, so the tyres rated at 240 kilometres an hour. But I think we need the RAAF to get up to 240 though. It even has a reversing camera nestled right under here. So let's have a look in the trunk, the boot space. There's the reversing camera right there as such. Now the boot space, the trunk space, let's take a look. Okay, this has approximately 320 litres, but please don't hold me to this. If I find out more information, I will let you know the exact figure. But as per European law, you're required to have a yellow vest. You would have heard of the yellow vest protests over here, les gilets jaunes. But it's law to have one of those, as well as a warning triangle. Underneath the boot floor, the trunk floor, we have, let's see what we have. Kinder Surprise, tyre inflator, space over spare, full size alloy. We do have a full size spare, however, the actual, we have a jack as well. No people with games and stories to tell, however, so, but it is a full size spare wheel, and it is 185/65 R15, 88T, so it's T rated, so it's rated to 190 kilometres an hour. But it's okay, and that's probably the car's real top speed anyway, so there's no pretension there. But the boot space is quite adequate for this size of car, and therefore in this case much bigger than the last Sherry Camaro we had. And look at the size of the car. Let's go on. So when it comes to the door cappings and so forth, I'm afraid we have a similar tale of woe in regards to hard, scratchy plastics. Just listen to that musical sound. It's almost like a plastic orchestra really, isn't it? But you have all these watch-inspired bloody plastic door grabs. More hard plastic down the bottom. Feels like we've got auto front windows. The rear windows are, let's see, we have pivoting rear windows. So let's take a quick look at those. There we go. We have pivoting rear windows. As you can see here, pivoting rear windows. Pretty easy enough to open and shut. Yes, so what about the fuel filler cap? Let's have a look. It does stipulate that you can use E5 or E10 unleaded petrol, gasoline. But the standard here in Europe for petrol is 95 RON or 91 ACI, which is available in USA and Canada. So this is the first time I've sat into the driver's seat, and I'm just trying to adjust the seat height for myself now, otherwise my head would be half a kilometre into the moonroof. So we get it down a little bit. Seems to be adjusted well enough. Seat seems to be very comfortable, although there doesn't seem to be too much in way of actual backrest bolstering. Not really, so it'll be interesting to see when we put it through the handling test. And clutch feels light enough. Let's see what we have in the range of steering adjustments. So there's tilt and telescopic wheel adjustment too. So if we try that to there. And we've got a wheel to adjust the backrest to. No such adjustments on the B-pillar belt anchors, so it's just the one fixed position for the sash. Auto-dimming rear vision mirror. And look at that, we've got some more hard scratchy plastics on the dash. No, this one not so. This is slightly squidgy, but when you look at the instrument cluster, I've just activated it now. It looks like a game of we all think back to the Atari games of the 80s, of that 1982, 83, and this looks like the rival called Intellivision. And you can just imagine two little paddles over here for a game of Pong. So, with that in mind, there's big air vents over here. Let's see how it starts up. This is the first time I've started this vehicle. It has 2 kilometres. Let's see how many kilometres we can do this time, being a brand new car. Let's see how it sounds. And as I said before, it's a 6-speed manual gearbox. So we'll see how that goes on the road too when we do a later test. This is up to next to first gear. Whoops, scratchy plastics. Got the bonnet up. Let's see what the rear accommodation is like. Now that the seat's set for me, the driver's seat's set for me, let's see if I fit comfortably. Just take the wallet out. Looks comfortable enough, but is it as comfortable as it looks, or is it comfortable as a park bench? Let's find out. What's the access like? Oh, early signs are good. I haven't clocked my head. Oh, I'd have to put the head restraints up though. There we go. There's a little bit on the tight side in that, but it's tolerable. But you can see where my knees are in relation to the seat back. They're contacting the seat back right now. I mean, this feels quite squidgy and so forth, but there's no real bolstering, no side support here on the seat squab. No, so the cushions are pretty flat, even though the padding looks good. It's quite airy with the moonroof, however, and that seems to give good headroom in this case. That's where I am there in relation to where I am. Yeah, so let's have a look under the bonnet. Seems to have keyless entry. And this was the 1.2 litre engine I was talking about with 81 kilowatts of power and 200 newton metres of torque. This is where the turbo is situated, and the vehicle has 3 cylinders, so making for a 1.2 litre displacement. So not exactly massive in terms of engine displacement capacity, but it'll do the job. But we will determine this very shortly when we take it out on the road. So again, this is where it's at the moment. So do stay tuned very shortly for further updates. But initial signs seem to be okay. Now, question remains: where do you think this car's manufactured? If you answered France, you would be wrong. It's about as French as Temple La Sagrada Familia, and that's in Barcelona, that's in Spain. But yeah, so Spanish built, but early signs seem to be okay. A little bit of variance in the bonnet gaps, a little bit of variance. But at least the orange peel in the paint is consistent. That's the thing. Good slickness in the panels. Geez, I'd have to be very careful. It's a Cactus, I might get spiked. And this is another thing too, when you look at the glove box and you look at all these little dimples. No, it's not a case of acne rosacea or anything like that. These dimples have a purpose. And they'll grip onto your wallet, or you can even stick a mobile phone on there if you so desire. But I don't know how often we'd be doing that, considering we've got other storage space with generous door pockets and those sorts of things. And this is how the glove box opens. This is the little lever here, the latch here. And you've got all these faux watch straps over here. You still have the scratchy hard plastics, there's no escaping that. And that's how that opens, and it seems to be quite capacious in here. There's carpet lining in the bottom of the glove box. So yeah, this is the passenger airbag on and off switch, you can operate by key. So yeah, but everything is operated through the actual center infotainment strap. Everything that's here, right down to your temperature settings, your fan settings, is all operated through the center stack here. So it might be a little bit complicated for some, but yeah. Alright, so we'll let you know how we go in this. So we'll be doing some road testing and that, so we will let you know how it drives. So early impressions are just okay, but like I said, a few scratchy plastics. That seems to be okay, it's comfortable enough. Squishy seats seem to be comfortable enough. I don't think it's going to be a super driver's car though, but it'll be nice and comfortable. But I'll let you know and get these future updates. I hope you're all well out there, and we will talk to you very soon. Peace out.